Is it somebody right on my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, first off, let's just talk about what has happened over the weekend. First, Tiger Woods. Can we believe it? Tiger Woods, yet again, has been arrested for a second DUI. Now, I did some back research on Tiger Woods, and this isn't his first incident. Maybe not even his, of course, it's not his first or second, but I don't think this is his third or his fourth, let's be honest. But hey, let me just bring it back to you, bring it back for you guys. So first was back in November 2009. That's when he had his first car crash into a fire hydrant and a tree that was in Florida. And then in May 2017, that's when he got his first DUI, and that's when he was found sleeping behind the wheel. I think I vaguely remember that one, actually, now that I think about it. However, then in February of 2021, he got into a car accident where his car rolled several times. This was in California. However, his car rolled several times, and he had a very severe leg injury that almost had his left leg amputated. So because of that, you would have thought third time's a charm. One DUI, Tiger Woods would have came to the conclusion that maybe there is something that he's doing, because it seems like almost every decade, every 10 years, or at least 2007, 2019, 2017, then like 2021, and now like 2026. This recent incident that just happened in March, he got his second DUI, and I'm just like, Tiger Woods, 4 times, 2 times your car has rolled over now, and the second time was because you had a DUI. I'm pretty sure the first one you probably had a DUI too, but the only reason why you got charged with the DUI is because you did pass a sobriety test when they your breathalyzer test. So because of that, you felt like, well, if my breathalyzer does not indicate that I have alcohol levels in my system, why should I subjugate myself to a urine and blood test? Well, because you was clearly allegedly underneath the influence of alcohol. So because of that's why I got your second DUI, just for refusing to take a test. So because of that, we see here that a past is following Tiger Woods. But you know what's more importantly interesting? His dating history, because you have to wonder, why is it that just recently Donald Trump was asked and then refused to speak furthermore on Tiger Woods' situation, other than saying that it's very sad? Well, I will go back for you. Donald Trump Sr., our president, has a eldest son named Donald Trump Jr., who was married to a woman named Vanessa Trump. So Vanessa Trump is the ex-wife of Donald Trump Jr. And Vanessa Trump, they dated from 2005 to 2018. They had 5 children. So after 2018, they separated. However, towards 2020, the end of 2024, Vanessa ex-Trump, was seen spotted with Tiger Woods. And then in 2025, they confirmed that they were in a relationship. So they're still in a relationship as of this day. But wait, there's more. Actually, Tiger Woods and Donald Trump go way back to 2017. Yes, that 2017 when he got his first DUI arrest. Trump knew Tiger Woods back then. and they had played golf together. And then by 2019, this was just 2 years before Tiger Woods' car rolled over, but he didn't get a DUI just yet for that one. He was like, yeah, me and Tiger are best friends, or like close friends. So he's saying that they're close friends, but still Vanessa Trump has not yet gotten into a relationship with Tiger Woods. And so you see here that Tiger Woods has been assimilating himself or getting close in with the Trumpsters. So because of that, there's a history with him and Tiger Woods before Vanessa Trump even entered the picture and they started dating. So now it's like, it's a bit messy. It's like, that's my friend. I don't want to talk about him. That's my son's ex-wife. I don't want to talk about her and her significant other either. It's just like, hoopla, who wants to talk about all that? But also, how Trump is. When you're your friend, it's your friend. If he cares, he's like a ride or die basically. But anyway, I digress. So because of that, Trump is like, I don't want to say anything about Tiger Woods and what could be possibly going on in his life, because Donald Trump will probably know what was going on in Tiger Woods' life for all these DUIs to happen. But all that to be said, Donald Trump refused to speak on it. And I'm going to pull some cards because I'm quite curious. Why is it that Tiger Woods is... hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just had to sneeze before I had to come back. But I had to fix the program because I just realized I was lagging. Sorry about that for like the last 6 minutes. However, I did fix the problem. But all that to be said, now it's time to get to the real purpose. And thank goodness I got to the problem beforehand. I'm going to pull some cards on what is going on with Tiger Woods. Oh, gosh. I hope I can get his name right for real. Tiger. What is going on with Tiger? For real. Okay. First card. Oh. Interesting. The Five of Cups. I could quite see that. It could be like a symbolizing of him maybe looking over his years. Did I have his... Surprisingly, I did not write down Tiger Woods' age down. However, I think he's in his 40s. Late 40s. We're on the same age as Vanessa Trump, we'll say, who's 48. Anyway, so because of that, we see right here the Five of Cups. And then, there's a whole lot going on. He almost lost his leg. And then I think that shortly came after the fact he stopped doing golf. And once he started playing it on leisure time, that's how he met Donald Trump. Well, that was around. So because of all those different things, it's like there are a lot of things changing within Tiger Woods' life. So because of that, this Five of Cups has him still reminiscing on the past and looking back over at the things that he has once lost. His golfing, not literally, he didn't lose his golfing career, but just basically who Tiger Woods used to be, that legacy. He can't own up to that. He's like a lesser version of himself, and he's learning to adjust to that still. He's still trying to learn to adjust to that. But, let's just pull a block card that seemed to want to fly out just now. Honestly, you wouldn't want the World card to be your block, because the World card is coming full circle. And quite honestly, it feels like Tiger Woods is having a full circle moment, because how are you going to tell me this is his second time that his car rolled over, but this is the first time he's getting a DUI for that? But no, it's his second DUI, but his first DUI, it was easy. It was light. He was asleep behind the wheel. Nobody got hurt. No car turned over. So it was like simple, easy. Now it's just like, you didn't learn the first time. That's why I said allegedly. I think the first time the car rolled over, it was probably a DUI. It should have been one. But due to the severity and everything that happened, they probably just bypassed that one. But no, this time it was no injury. It was just Tiger Woods standing up, looking uninjured. So now it's like, okay, we're now going to book you for this one. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. It's that full circle moment of, have you not learned yet? Because the World card is all about ending of cycles. And it seems like hopefully Tiger Woods can end this cycle on a note that moving forward, he needs to change his ways. But hey, let me just see what his foundation is, because after all, I said that World card is his block, and you wouldn't want that as a block card. His foundation is the Three of Pentacles. Now, is he signing contracts or trying to make deals to get out of this, to figure out how he can clean his image up? I don't know. Let's just see where the past is from. Oh no, this it's just not looking good. We have the Ten of Swords. I'm gonna just pull what's above his head at this present moment. The Hermit, and let's see for the future. I really hope the future card is a really good card. It's the Four of Cups, and I kind of don't like that. Because we started off with the Five of Cups and he ends on the Four of Cups. So instead of making progress, he regressed a little bit, relapsed a little bit. But it's kind of good because it goes into that Hermit energy of where he's retreating inward. And by retreating inward, you would have to revert back in. So I could see that de-escalation of this, instead of this situation escalating and getting worse, moving forward beyond the years from now. I see that this could have been something, like I said, with this World card, that it is a change for him that was like a wake-up call almost for him to get his, like they say, get locked in and figure out what does he need, what is going on inside of himself that is making him have these continuous accidents. And it just seems to be getting progressively worse each time. First it was a fire hydrant in a tree, then it was sleeping behind the wheel, now it's 2 times we rolled over. So huge leap. So because of that, it starts getting eye-opening, and it's like the world almost is like flashing before his eyes of the reality of, who am I, Tiger Woods, now compared to who I was beforehand, and is this how I want my legacy to continue going down, basically. So he's having this, how sometimes you get like down in the dumps. The Five of Cups and Ten of Swords says it perfectly. You get down the dumps, you get in a little rut, you start feeling bad for yourself, maybe a little pity party. So then you start acting out, lashing out, maybe getting a little careless, a little bit reckless. You're just like, kind of have it like, not like an effort energy, but they say YOLO, you only live once. So you kind of like take that daredevil kind of energy, and you're just like, well, if I make it out, I make it out. Or you just don't even think about the consequences. Well, because of those things, that's where Tiger was in his that's where he was in his mindset. That's where that Ten of Swords had him at, and that's where his Five of Cups where he still is, but it's like the picking up kind of energy from that. But it's still looking back at but instead of it looking back on a pity party, it's looking back on, the way I want to say is taking kind of like responsibility, or taking time to reflect on how you have changed, and do you want to continue changing, and is this the person that you're happy and satisfied with? And we see here, moving forward to the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is not accepting anything, not going to just be any type of image in the media, because he's still a figure that people talk about, and because of that, he knows it's making his legacy look bad. And I'm not sure if he has contracts that he still has to sign to, or maybe it's like an internal contract with inside of himself, because he had to go through the Hermit of that, moving forward into the past, that he's no longer going to continue having a YOLO energy, I'm not going to care, or a self-pity. So, whatever happens kind of thing. Nobody cares about poor old Tiger Woods. That's those were the feelings that he was like feeling for like himself. So because of that, it was like, even though he has like loved ones, even though he has like a thriving life, he's like friends with the president and stuff like that. Even though he's got all that going for him, he's got a girlfriend. So, he's got all these great things going for him. So you're just like, well, what could be so bad that Tiger Woods feels as though his life is not worth caring for, is the best way I could put it. And not in that sense that his life isn't. It's just the who Tiger Woods was before he stopped playing golf to who he is after. He's still managing that transition because he still loves golf. He's still doing it to this day. So because of that, it's not like he wants to give up golf. It's not like he wanted to retire. Like you see boxers out here, though they're still old and going through, and they still want to battle the youngins. So because of that, Tiger Woods could still have that same type of energy, but maybe he knows better. So because of that, he knows when to sit it down and retire himself in that sense. So that's why he still does it in his leisurely time, because it's something that's always going to be him. That's why he has that 5 of Cups. It's like, I'm Tiger Woods, but I'm not the great Tiger Woods I used to be. And people recognize you. Maybe your like generation is not dying out, but like getting older. And so because of that, maybe the younger generation is not going to know you as much. So it's almost like he's becoming a dying figure in the legacy. So it's like, how can he keep him? Not that he wants to keep himself relevant, but it's kind of like, well, how does Tiger Woods stay relevant? Because he's still living, so he's still history in the making. So because of that, it's that thing of, once I'm dead and gone, I'm going to go in the history books and people are going to know me. But it's like all those different things, it's a lot. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to think, and it's a lot to explain. And it's a lot to go through for Tiger Woods. So because of that, all those sense of things, that's why it's like the hermit card right here of having to go within for him to figure out what it is inside of himself that keeps him progressively keep having these car accidents. That keeps him progressively in the news in that sense when it comes to having DUIs. When he's got all this going on in his life. So it's like, you got to start thinking, what is it inside of himself if it's not anything outside of himself? So because of that, let's just pull 3 cards to see how Tiger Woods is going to move forward from this DUI. Well, actually, no. Let's pull, has Tiger Woods learned about this DUI? Actually, no. How's he? How moving forward from this DUI? How's Tiger Woods? We're just going to leave it at that. Well, we see a fight. Literally, I was fighting to figure out which question I wanted to pick, but let's see what this fight is. An eclipse usually symbolizes periods of great transformation. It's usually one of those things of like no returns, and they usually have their cycles. Like I said, the World card is all about the cycles. It's the ending of a cycle, and now it's the beginning of the new cycle, and he's trying to figure out how moving on in this next chapter and phase in his life. Because the fight is his, I don't want to say his inner demons, but the fight is within inside of himself. So because of that, it's like moving forward. It's like, does Tiger Woods want to keep getting in the way of Tiger Woods? So it's like I said, back to that hermit, going inside, all those different things. It's all about Tiger. And that can be the problem sometimes when you're unintentionally self-absorbed. Even, I'm not even trying to like self-diagnose him here. I'm just trying to figure out what is wrong with him to constantly end up in these situations where his life can be put on the line. And then we see here a big ego. we're going to move forward because I want to know, is this big ego going to change? Because you can have a big ego. Because we see a fight here and we see an eclipse. That's, and maybe even if it's not a transformation, well, it could be a transformation where it's like a darkening, or like things are going to be like hidden. Because you know when eclipses are, it gets dark, so all the light is kind of shadowed. But that's also when the sun, the moon, the inner and the outer come together, and it's a more transformation time. That's why they say it's a period of, because it's more powerful than a new moon, because the sun and the moon always interact with each other once a month during a new moon. But when we have an eclipse, that's when they perfectly align with each other. It could be like a new moon, and the moon here and the sun here, or the moon here and the sun is here. So like the moon could be anywhere around the sun, but it's like once they finally align up perfectly, that's when we get the eclipse. And so because of that, during that, that's why I said it's a period of time of it's really important. That happens twice a year for 2 years. That's how long an eclipse cycle is. And so because of that, it's about 1.5 years, roughly, depending how some astrologers want to rough it out. So that's why I said about approximately 2 years. So because of that, those cycles, those phases, they have to like come and go. And then like once eclipse season is over, like once that season's over, it's like a new chapter, it's a new phase. So I saw that here with the world card of, I see there's a like an ending of like an old, like the vibe that I'm getting is like an old, like a piece of Tiger Woods has died, and he's trying to navigate with that. Like there's something missing within inside of himself. That's why we see the big ego here. Like I said, it's all about tiger, 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 tiger. So when it's like self-absorbed, so focused on yourself, or not even that he intentionally needs to do it, because when you have like a hole or feel like something's missing inside of yourself, or you feel broken or you feel incomplete, or something's just not quite right within inside of yourself, you're trying to find all these different ways to find coping mechanisms. So you're like fighting internally with yourself, trying to get back to yourself. And during that like aging phase during his life, and it's also around that phase of the midlife crisis too. So yikes on that too for him. He's got a whole lot of internal conflict with inside of himself that he's trying. It's like he's trying to like rechase his youth almost even. So it's like all those things that he has to work through and process while also being a celebrity figure in the media. I mean, if he was just some smegular schmo Joe, maybe he wouldn't have these problems. Maybe he would, and they would be more frequent and less frequent than it would. Then more frequent than it is because he's not a celebrity, and because he's a celebrity, it's less frequent encounters that this happens. But I'm just trying to see that there's something internally changing within Tiger Woods that he's actively trying to fight, and it's been something that's been going on, I'm going to say, since 2009. Okay, 2017. And that's the year that Trump had gotten elected for president for the first time. So you got to also think about that too. He made friends with Trump around that presidency. So it's like all these different things. It's like repeats, all that. You know, I could go on and on and on about how first Trump presidency and the second Trump presidency and like the 2020 era of like the pandemic epidemic, and like 2026 and like up to 2027, 2028, parallels, similarities, feminine energy, just all that. So because of that, I've been hearing in the astrologies that a whole lot of cycles are repeating. So that's why I said whatever happened in like 2017, that's why I'm like, fine. I'm like, if you want to say 2009 where it started, but when he got his first DUI, it just ironically happened to be in 2017, and then 10 years later almost 2026, he gets another DUI. So it's like that cycle is repeating itself again. And we have 2 cards in here that has to talk about cycles, which is the World card and the eclipses. But then we see the Hermit, which is all about retreating on this cycle of trying to go more within and figure out and process instead of doing escapism and trying to not deal. That's what I'm trying to like get. That's what his problems were. But anyway, like I said, I'm not here to self-diagnose. I'm just trying to do a little bit of soul searching and figure out what's going on with Tiger Woods. And it sounds exactly that. He's doing some self-searching, some inner searching within inside of himself to figure out who is this new Tiger Woods, and is he happy with who he is now, and does he want to continue being this person moving forward? And the answer that I got for this was the 4 of Cups, which symbolizes that he isn't going to just accept this version of himself. So because of that, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. We really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Come with sunflowers, spread those beautiful sunflower seeds all over the beautiful earth, especially to help people like Tiger Woods who could be eternally struggling, but also just because sunflower seeds spread joy, love, and positivity. And God knows we definitely need it on this earth during this time and period. So with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Please leave your comments down below. How did you feel about this reading on Tiger Woods? What do you think his problem is? What do you think that could be bothering him and causing him to have these DUIs? Do you like the reasoning that the cards came up with? That being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Give this video a thumbs up. You know what I say before I hop off. Hype us up. Subscribe to us. Hey, and I'll see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers.